Today we're going to be talking about the development of reproduction and their organs that helps with reproduction. I want you to stop for a moment and think about what we have been discussing the last week or so in our classroom. Amira Carter, can you please tell us what we have been learning about?
We've been learning about genes and dominant and recessive genes.
Yes, we've been learning about dominant and recessive genes. Emily, tell me something else we have been learning about. Okay, let's think. Dominant recessive genes, who was the scientist that came up with the idea of dominant and recessive genes? What did we create the other day in class? A baby, but what was the scientific word that we used for baby? Okay, on the count of three, you guys help her out. 1, 2, 3.
Offspring.
Okay, let's see. Kaylee. What was the name of that scientist? Do you remember? Who remembers the scientist's name? Amir.
Was it Gregor Mendel?
Mendel, yes, or Mendel, yes. Mendel was his name. Good job. I forgot. We start off every lesson by reviewing our objectives. Our objectives are up here, but they're always written on our board in this back right corner. And our objectives for today are identify Mendel's law of genetics, and also you are to identify the process of chromosomes, reduction in the production of a sperm and egg cell, right, during reproduction. Every good lesson has an agenda, and it has a before, during, and after. Class?
Yes.
Please place any pencil that you have or writing utensil on the floor. Okay, our agenda for today. The before part of our lesson, we are going to be doing a think, pair, and share. During our lesson, we are going to do a close read. And last but not least, we're going to be doing a 3, 2, 1 reflection. When we finish this assignment, we may have 5 or 10 minutes left of our class, and I'm going to allow you to work on your offsprings that you created using the spinner wheel on our last class meeting. If you are finished with your offspring, you are going to use your device or get an iPad from me to research any questions that you still have about our objectives for our lesson today. The very first thing we're going to do is to think, pair, and share.
All 7th grade girls report to the girls' PE locker room.
First part of our lesson, we are going to think. At this time, I would like for all of my girls to stand up. And you walk to the locker room. That leaves some of you, go ahead. That leaves some of you without a partner. Dalton, can you stand up and join? Right, and over here. It's fine, we're flexible and we understand. Alright, our question that we are thinking about is explain what it means to clone something. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to think in your head. Now it's time to pair. I have paired you with a partner. Please at this time share what you're thinking. Go.
Coffee.
What else? What other one? table. Your whole table talk about what each of you said. And I'm going to call on a few of you to share in just a moment. Dylan DeLoach, what did your group say? To copy something. Okay, I like the word copy. I'm going to create a web for our thoughts. He said to copy something and to make it look the same. So I'm going to write the word same. Please share what your group said, Dalton. Okay, to make a generic copy. Dylan.
Make a miniature version of you.
Make a miniature version of you, an original. I love that word. Yes.
Oh, I'll say it.
Original. Okay. Yes. Double. Triplets or twins. I like that word. An exact. That's a really good word. And a duplicate. Replica. Any other word that you can think of? Very good. The next part of our lesson that we are going to do, is we are going to do a close read. And a close read is a great reading strategy for you to use. I know that I personally use close reads all the time. In my college career, I've had to read several articles that are very hard. And sometimes the authors put in words that I don't even know how to say, and I especially do not know what they mean. So close reading is a strategy that I use a lot. We have done close reads before in this classroom, and also I know you have experienced them in your English and reading class. At this time, I have placed an article under one lucky person's desk. Will you please find those articles and pass them out to the group? Everybody needs an article. You still don't need anything to write with? I'm going to give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Class. Is there anybody in this room who does not have the article? Okay, the very first part of the close read is you are just going to read the entire passage. The very front of the passage. No stress. Is it just your two? The very front of the passage has the title. It says, Hello, Dolly. Everybody, place your finger on Hello, Dolly. Hello, Dolly. Okay. I'm going to give you the next 3 to 5 minutes to read over the article. If you finish early, what might be something good for you to do? Read back over it. Anything else? Maybe study the pictures? Yep. Okay, go ahead and read. Thank you. there is a back to the article. I'm going to give you about 1 more minute. It looks like almost everyone is done. Thank you so much for working so quietly and so hard. I really do appreciate it. The next part of the close read that we are going to do is we're going to reread the passage 1 sentence at a time. And there are some really big, hard words in this passage. Even I, as an adult, yesterday, had to read through this, and I circled or highlighted a bunch of words that I did not understand. So right now, I'd like for you to take out the highlighter that you brought to my room today. Let's make sure everybody has their highlighter in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Does anybody need assistance with the highlighter? Okay. Here, one right here. Great. This time, I would like for you to go back through the passage and highlight any word, phrases, or sentences that you do not understand, that you're having trouble with, or you do not know. Really fast, before you begin, I do have a question. There's some strategies we can do. As good readers, when we come across a word that we do not understand, what is something I can do, Dylan Roberts? Yeah, if I'm reading a story and I come to a word that I do not understand, what can I do?
Sound it out.
Sound it out? Okay, great. What else can I do? What else is something I can do? Read on. Read on is a good strategy. Yes.
Look it up.
Look it up. Yes, those are all very good strategies. Okay, girls, we have just started our close read. Please just find a seat. There are articles under one person's chair. And you need to take out your highlighter. And we are rereading our text, and we are highlighting any words, phrases, or sentences that we do not understand. If anybody needs an article or a highlighter, if you will please just raise your hand, and I will be more than glad to give you one.
All 8th grade girls report to the girls' locker room.
I see a lot of people have highlighted the word zygote. Keep highlighting. Keep highlighting. We're highlighting any words, phrases, or sentences that we do not understand. We are highlighting any words, phrases, and sentences we do not understand. You can highlight the caption underneath the pictures if there's something under There you don't understand? Thank you so much for being so flexible with the disruption. Do you need a highlighter? Okay. Okay, now that the girls just came back in, we're just going to give them a few seconds to get caught up. Remember, you need to have highlighted things in the passage from the front to the end on the back. I know some of the girls just came in, but the boys have been doing this for some time now. Please put the lid on your highlighter and place your highlighter in the floor. And let's do that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Class, class.
Yes, yes.
At this time, I would like for you to share with your table any words, sentences, or phrases that you did not understand or you had a hard time with. I would like for you to discuss them as a group and also talk about some strategies that may help you. And we talked about 3 really good, important strategies that may help you if you come to a word that you don't know. The first strategy is to try to sound it out, try to figure it out. Maybe get on your device and look it up. We also said that you could go ask someone to help you. And then the last strategy, which is my favorite that I use a lot, I go back, I reread, and I can sometimes reread the passage, skip that word, and continue to read on. And sometimes it helps to bring that knowledge that I have back, and I can understand what it means. So let's discuss some of the hard parts of this article right now. Remember, I will call on you to ask what people at your table said, so it is vital that everyone participates. Thank you. You may go. Okay, I heard some really great conversations going on. Nevaeh, can you discuss something your group shared that you guys did not understand? Zygote. zygote or embryo. Yes, and we have just started discussing reproduction and the life cycle. And so those are new terms that we have in this article. Do you think you have figured out what a zygote or an embryo is? Amira, can you read the first sentence that talks about a zygote? It says right here, the zygote contains DNA. Read that really loud first.
The zygote contains DNA from both the male and female.
Okay, so the zygote has both DNA from the male and the female. So my knowledge that we have from talking about genetics, if a zygote has DNA from the male and the female, what do you think that has to do with the word zygote? How can we pull some background knowledge or some schema that we have? What do you think that may be? Raise your hand if you have it. Okay, Ashley?
I think it might be like a trait.
Okay, maybe a trait. Maybe it has something to do with their offspring. Remember, offspring is a vocabulary term that we learned last class. Very good. I love that. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to go back to the article again. We're going to reread the passage, and this will be the last time that we read the passage. But I would like this time for you to take out your pencil, and I would like for you to circle any important facts or details that you found in this article. I want you to, wait, don't start yet. I want you to pretend that you are going to be the teacher. And in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to come up here and take my spot and teach the class about this article about cloning. So I want you to really dig deep into this article and circle anything you think is important that your peers need to know. Ready, go. Remember, we're doing this independently, and then I will give you time to share. About 2 more minutes. Remember, we're rereading the text again. Dig back into the text. I'm going to give you about 20 more seconds. Okay, stop. At this time, I need your eyes. So class be writing or circling. At this time, I'm going to allow you to share in your groups. But something really good for you to do, if my partner circled something and he shares that with me and I think, oh my goodness, I did not circle that, but you know what? That is really, really important. So you should pick up your pencil and circle it as well. Please at this time share with your table about the important facts, details, or statements that you found in this article. And go ahead and circle what you think is important. Go ahead and share.
All ninth grade girls report to girls locker room.
Scientists knew that Dawn was created from clay. Said Dawn was
Okay, classy class. Yes. Mr. Roberts, Dylan, would you please share with the class something that you or your table found important?
The picture.
Yes, the picture of reproduction. That is a very important picture. In fact, our last lesson when we did Clyde and Claire, I shared this picture with you. So that is something very important. Good job, Dylan. Give your brain a kiss. So smart. Brianna, you are my chosen one. Can you please share with the class something either you or your table found important?
We circled that a human zygote receives 23 single chromosomes from each parent, giving it a total of 4.
I was hoping you would pick that. Oh, I love it. She said that her table talks about chromosomes, and we have been learning about chromosomes, and she said we have 23 pair of chromosomes for each cell. How many total chromosomes are there if there's 23 pair? 46. Awesome. Okay. Please bear with me just a few minutes longer. We're almost done with our lesson. The last thing I'd like for you to do is turn and talk to your one partner about what the main idea is of this article. And remember, main idea is the gist. Trial. Can you tell me, just in general, not about this article, but in general, if you're in any class and they say, tell about the main idea, what is the teacher talking about?
The important part of the story.
Yeah, the important part of the story are what it is mainly about. And this is really hard for middle school. Even, myself as an adult, sometimes I struggle to figure out what the main idea is. What the main idea is of anything that I'm reading. So at this time, I would like for you to turn to your partner. I want you guys to figure out what the main idea is. And then, wait, I'm not doing my directions. At the bottom, right here on the front of your article, I would like for you to write a complete sentence. That means it needs a capital letter and punctuation at the end of what the main idea is. You could write, the main idea of this article is blah, 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 blah. Please write a complete sentence after you have discussed with your partner. Ready, go. Very good. Now you know what to write. Do you guys know what to write? Okay, but what's the main idea of this whole article? What is this article about?
It's animal.
Okay.
How to have babies.
She was alone. What about her? Was she just, I mean, no, she was the very first successful one. Yeah, so good. There you go, you got something right now. Alright, let me see. At this time, you should be done sharing and you should be writing. Is there anyone in the room that needs assistance with the main idea? Good, so you all should have a good, strong sentence at the bottom of your paper. Oh, and I love how she asked, can you have main ideas? Is there more than one? And there could be more than one, that's fine. Alright, I'm going to give you about 1 minute to write down your main idea. Once again, I am looking for a complete sentence. And even middle schoolers sometimes struggle to write a complete sentence with a capital letter at the beginning and punctuation at the end. Can you please share with the class your main idea that you wrote? Will you read us the sentence that you wrote?
The main idea of the story is sheep and reproductive system.
Okay, the main idea is that Dolly the sheep was the first successful clone. Very good. Good. Dylan Roberts wrote, was the first ever clone. Was she the first ever?
No, first it's
Oh, good. First successful. Right. They were trying to clone things, but we read in the article that they failed, right? Their immunity was too weak. Their hearts didn't work properly.
I wrote, in fact, scientists have tried unsuccessfully to clone sheep 260.
The following students who report to main office: Haley Branson, Jesse
Hang
Hammett,
on 1 second.
Brenna Seeger, Brianna Bentz, Brittany Brown, Megan Wright, Cameron Spears,
Michael wrote that
and Winter
there
Westbrook to main
was
office.
76, Michael? He directed me back to the article to something that he circled that was really important. And he said there was 276 failed clones before Dolly was successfully cloned. That is awesome. I'm so proud of you, Michael, for going back to the text. All right. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to flip over our passage. And on the back, there are 2 discussion questions. And if you'll notice at the bottom of your paper, there is a big blank space again. And I would like for you to put a number 1 and a number 2. We're flipping it over. It's okay, get on with it. And I'm going to read to you the discussion question, and then I would like for you to discuss and write your answer. All right, let's do the first one first. It says, why is it important for the expert that Dolly grew in the uterus? Why was it important for the experiment that Dolly grew in the uterus of the Scottish black-faced ewe? Why not implanted the egg into the fin ewe? Please talk to your neighbor about this and write down your answer. Okay, what do y'all think? If you don't know, go back to the text and find out. It's in the box. your response. Amir Carter, what did you write down as your response? Will you read it to us?
I said.
Hang on. Wait, class.
Yes, sir.
Let's see what Amir wrote.
I said because normally Scottish blackface is offsprings aren't all white, but Dolly was.
Awesome. Very good. If you wrote the same thing, can you please show me the sign language for me too? If you wrote something different and would like to share, please raise your hand. Anybody would like to share? Great. Let's look at the next discussion question. The next discussion question asks for your opinion. So you and your partner may agree or you may disagree, but either way is fine. But I'm going to read the question out loud and then I'm going to allow you time to discuss and then to record your answer. Number 2 says, do you think Dolly grew up to be exactly like her clone mother? So do you think Dolly was exactly like her clone mother? But you have to tell why or why not. You cannot just write yes or no. Remember, I'm looking for complete sentences. Talk to your partner about it, then write your answer.
I think it's no. Things cannot know if you guys do it. Because no two things can be exactly alike. Even if they're both exactly alike.
Well, they're both in them, but they,
I really have to stop you and share what she has written on her paper. I love what she has written. She put no because they did not have the same life experiences. Yes, she said that, they may not have lived in the same area, in the same region. But some of you might have put yes, but anybody who wrote that they would be the same, would anybody like to share?
Because they have the same gene.
They have the same genes or DNA. I love it. Very good job. Okay, I want you to quickly finish up writing your response. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. And then I would like for you to put your pencil down, and I'm going to give you your next directions. Looks like most everybody is finished. Please put your pencil down in 3, 2, 1. Class.
Yes.
The last thing that we are going to do is a 3, 2, 1. And usually we would do this in our science notebook, but I'm going to take up your work today. And I have placed underneath one special person in your group's chair pieces of notebook paper. Before you get that paper out, wait. I'm going to tell you what to do. At the top of the piece of paper, you're going to write your name. Then, underneath that, you're going to write 3 things that you discovered from the article. Please go back to the text. If you can't remember 3 things that you discovered, hang on, 3. I'll explain. Write 3 things that you discovered. 2 interesting facts that you learned and 1 question that you had. Boys, when you come back, you will do this, but I would like for you to stand quietly. You are to report to the girls' locker room downstairs. Thank you. Okay, ladies, you are left. 3 things that you discovered on the notebook paper, 2 interesting facts, and 1 question that you still have. An example of a question that you still have could be, is Dolly still alive? Where is Dolly located? Have they cloned humans?
What?
Okay, but I want you to really use your brain and think. At this time, please get your notebook paper out.
Actually,
Let's do this assignment. Thank you.
there's twins.
Are twins clones?
I have a 20.
They're similar. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Just in case you have forgotten, what I said to write is up on the board. I'm going to give you about 2 more minutes to complete this assignment. And then we're going to share with our friends the questions that we have written down. To come up with a really good question. Great, it looks like everybody is done. Please take out, please put down your pencils. Let's talk about the questions that we have. Brianna, what question do you have about the article?
Could they use how they know how to make a clone now? They could maybe save endangered animals.
How could you save endangered animals through cloning? I love that. Have they thought of that? That is a great question that you can research in just a moment on your device. Jayla, what is your question that you have? Right, okay. How did Dolly turn out white? We were talking, and Savannah and us were talking about our twins clones. Our twins clones. Those are all great questions. At this time, I am going to take up your article in your 3-2-1. You are going to get out a device or an iPad, and you are going to research your question. But if you have not finished your Clyde and Claire artwork, we're going to do that first instead. I want to thank you so much for being so good, even though we had interruptions during my video. Let's go ahead and turn that in.